Doesn't it feel great to be alive? Hello, main event baseball YouTube fans. Hope all you guys are having a lovely, magical, memorable, fun, fabulous, beautiful, handsome weekend and all of that. But I have a feeling that some of you guys are going to be watching this episode tomorrow, which is Monday. So if you are watching this episode of Main Event Baseball with Ryan on YouTube on Monday, then happy beloved Monday. But in tonight's Sunday night episode, we are going to talk about an incident that happened this past Friday between the Utah Aggies and the Arizona State University for college baseball. This is something that I think needs to be addressed. I'm going to talk very personal about it because one of the Utah State players, he was actually the pitcher in the game, was ejected from the game. And remember, this is a college baseball game. So we're going to talk about everything that went down at ASU. It was game one of a 3-game series down at Arizona State University. And you are going to be shocked with the Utah's pitcher and his language and behavior. So other than that, make sure you enjoy this episode. You hit that thumbs up and subscribe down below. So let me ask all of you guys a question. How many of you guys disagree with a call that the home plate umpire or an umpire in a baseball or softball game? How many times have you disagreed with a call of an umpire? And ask yourself, out of all those times you disagreed with a call by an umpire, how many times did you want to say something and you knew it was going to be offensive, and so you decided not to say it because out of respect to the umpire? But you still disagreed with his call, but you didn't want to say anything disrespectful, and so you held yourself back and prevented yourself from saying it. I want to ask you guys, how many times has that happened? Because, ladies and gentlemen, on a Friday night at a college baseball game in Tempe, Arizona, the home of Arizona State Sun Devils baseball, it was game one of a 3-game series between Utah and Arizona State. It was supposed to be a peaceful game. 2 colleges battling it out under the Arizona night sky on a Friday night. And the home plate umpire for this game definitely did not expect what would even occur to him a few hours into the game. It was the bottom of the 5th inning when we had a little incident between the Utah pitcher and the home plate umpire. Now, the home plate umpire called some close calls, ball, and then a ball, and then very next pitch, sim spot, whoo, and all of that. Well, the Utah pitcher would end up getting out of the inning without allowing any runs scored. But here's the caveat. Instead of walking to the dugout and, to take a breather and, mentally recuperate to get ready to go back out for the very next inning, he decided to approach the home plate umpire in an aggressive manner, and he was ejected from the ballgame. He was not ejected from the ballgame for his anger, but for his language. Ladies and gentlemen, the Utah pitcher would call the home plate umpire a F-A P. So the F word, the A word, the PIG. And ladies and gentlemen, in college baseball, they take ejections that an umpire makes extremely seriously, okay? Now, in case you guys did not know, if a player in college baseball gets tossed, it is an automatic 3-game suspension. The reason they can not fine a college baseball player is because a college baseball player is a school athlete. And as long as they are a school athlete, they can not be fined. They can be suspended, but not fined. So the pitcher was given a automatic 3-game suspension that has now turned into a 10-game suspension for his language. Also ejected was the pitching coach of Utah. He is serving a 3-game suspension with a fine. But ladies and gentlemen, you know, I got to admit, okay, on Utah's side, and I am not defending Utah, but on their defense, the home plate umpire called ball. And then the next 3 pitches, which were in the exact same spot, so the umpire was kind of having a 50-50 night. Not really a good night behind the plate. Surprisingly, Arizona State, they did not argue anything of it. But here's the caveat, guys. This ejection on a Friday night made headlines. There was some people out in the baseball and softball community that think the pitcher should be suspended for the remaining of the season. There are people out there that think, hey, the pitcher lost his cool and took it out on the umpire. Now, don't get me wrong, guys. Umpires, okay, you got to remember when it comes to an official or an umpire, okay, they're not perfect, okay? And a lot of times, you're going to see the home plate umpire call ball or when it's in the same spot from the previous, but it's a different call. So I want you guys to, it's tough to, kind of remember that. But at the exact same time, for the pitcher on Utah to go out and say the language what he did, I really think there should be major disciplinary issues. Like I said, he was given a 10-game suspension, and that is for the language he used. And a lot of people were not happy. The Utah College athletic director definitely was not happy, guys. And I mean, the only thing I can explain, the umpire had a really rough game and definitely did not deserve to be called that kind of language. And, the umpire, guys, was throughout this interaction was very, very calm. He automatically ejected the pitcher for the language, but he did say he did tell the Utah head coach that I did not eject your pitcher for arguing balls and strikes. I ejected your pitcher for the language he used and all that. But yes, guys, and I know it's Sunday or it's Monday when you're watching this episode. This happened Friday night, and I really cannot. I kind of almost feel embarrassed, that happened. Okay, you don't really see players or coaches in college baseball get ejected a lot. There's a lot more respect to the game of baseball, and if I can say anything, the Utah pitcher, he lost his cool. He would probably even admit that. But there's kids at the game. There's parents. I mean, you know what? I'm not saying that, hey, this pitcher's parents raised him poorly. I'm just saying that You know, he lost his cool. You know, he's kind of one of those pitchers that wears his emotions on his sleeve. And you know what? Yeah, I mean, he crossed some lines, said a lot of stuff he probably should not have said, and eventually it landed him in getting ejected. And you know what? He's going to have to do that 10-game suspension now just for what he did. So, but I did want to talk about it. I did want to address it. Because you know, the game of baseball and softball, we all go, and I you're like, almost every game you're going to go to in baseball or softball, this is going to happen. You're going to disagree with a call that an umpire makes, and so you know what? A lot of times it's hard to keep it under control, and all that, you know, but you know, just jumping too much, that can get you tossed in a heartbeat. I see it literally all the time. So I do want to get your guys' input on it. It is up on YouTube, so if you guys want to look at the footage for yourself. But I would like to get your guys' input on what you guys think and all that. I got to applaud the home plate umpire through all that. He remained very calm, very chill. He did not eject the Utah pitcher in aggression. It was very calm. The Utah pitcher did not approach the umpire anymore after he was tossed, and he was led off the field and into the locker room for the remaining of the game. And a few moments later, the pitching coach got ejected. I'm guessing the pitching coach took offense to the ejection, but I don't exactly know that entirely, Sean. So I did want to talk about it on Friday and yesterday, and I just never got to it. So now that we're talking about it on a Sunday night on the channel, I would like to know you guys' thoughts on it. So definitely let me know down below in the comments section, guys. Something that definitely should not have happened, happened. And yeah, that's really the only way I could really describe it. You know, it was preventable, and it was something that did escalate. So